Hi, I'm Lee Brecheen of Louisiana Football TV magazine. We've got some great guests tonight, as always. Ken Trahan, one of the legends of the New Orleans area in media. It'll take 5 months to talk about what he does daily. And we also have Ro Brown, another legend from New Orleans, does a lot of radio, been around a long time. Again, would take another year to go over everything that he's been a part of. And we've got two great recruits, Jacobian Guillory, defensive tackle for the class of 220, from ASH, as they call it, Alexandria High School, and also quarterback Luke Lunsford, one of the top quarterbacks in the state for 2020 from Denham Springs High School. We have much, much more. We'll be back in just a minute.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Welcome back, Louisiana Football TV magazine. These are the preview issues. If you're watching this somewhere in Louisiana or out of state, and you're a mom or dad and your kid's coming up, going to be a sophomore, freshman, junior, this is the preview issues from this past year. The left is our South Louisiana cover preview, and to the right is our North Louisiana. North is actually where Jacobian starts, Alexandria back, Lake Charles down south. All the high schools, all the colleges are covered. All the 1AA, D1, even D3, Louisiana College out of Pineville is covered in the magazine. You can go to our website if you can't find a copy to get the magazine. I want to thank all our advertisers that make it possible. We're going into 23 years of a preview issue this coming year. 23 years, starting it out of my apartment 23 years ago. And I remember 27 years ago, I'm still trying to remember, but I meet a gentleman by the name of Ken Trahan in New Orleans. I'm going to schools. I'm trying to get into the sports business. And somehow I end up on his radio show since '91. And Ken, you're here today as a guest. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Thanks for bringing me on in '91.
It was my pleasure, and I'm glad to see you have the success that you've had. And as we say now, almost 3 decades later, in the third race, Trahan, 20 pounds over, okay? So, all good.
All right. Every Friday night, you have a program that does the high school games on radio. You have me and about 200 other people probably. Maybe it's 100, I don't know, it seems like 200, that call in with a game score, either a halftime score or a final. And that's every Friday night in the New Orleans area, and it goes all over the state. Tell everybody about that routine, because you have several hats like me that you wear in sports, but this is just one of them.
Yep, 24 years running. It's the original. We started the show back in 1995, and it's a statewide show. We're on 10 radio stations around Louisiana and various websites. And in studio, we have 6 to 7 people each week. On location, your next guest and my great friend Ro Brown is my co-host, and we have 3 or 4 people there weekly as well. It's a labor of love, and to give you some sort of perspective, on a week-to-week basis, we engage as many as 250 to 300 people statewide to participate either through reports, contacts for scores, updates, analysis like yourself, and so forth. And of course, winning coaches, you name it. So it's a totally encompassing show. It covers 6 hours on Friday nights during the football season. It's an enormous task. I must be out of my mind to continue doing this.
Gotta love it.
I do it because I love it, and
Right.
because of the relationships I've built over the years with so many people on the high school level.
And Ken, tell everybody, if somebody's driving from Alexandria or Lake Charles and they're in South Louisiana, the dial. Tell them the dial.
Well, the affiliates are everywhere. We're in Vivian, we're in Shreveport, we're in Monroe and Ruston, we're in Lafayette and Lake Charles and Sulphur, North Shore, South Shore in the New Orleans area, Bayou Country and Terrebonne and Thibodaux and Lafourche, and the whole aspect of those areas too. So we pretty much cover the whole state, and people around the state cover either part of our show, parts of our show, or the whole show, depending on the week. And Baton Rouge as well on WUBR. So we're pretty much everywhere, and again, that's a blessing. It's been a long process to be able to build that up, but obviously we have people that value what we do, so they take us on.
You know, my favorite part of the show is that usually the show, when I call in my times, usually like 10, in that range. And I'm just leaving a game, or I'm in my car, or I'm in a bad area. And it's either you or Ro Brown. And my favorite part is when Ro says, name the running back from 1991 from Covington High School, and I'm driving. And I'm going.
You don't have your cheat sheet going because you're driving.
And
at
I'm
the
like,
time.
man, if I can get 8 out of 10 of these. But Ro's always good at throwing out a great question, you know, and keeps it lively, keeps it entertaining. And you've got several people that come in. I love how you have coaches that come in after the game, and or coaches might have open date and they're at the show with you. And
Yeah, we do a school night every night in conjunction with the show, and it's a New Orleans area school, and we'll have their coach present with members of the team and alumni and teachers and coaches and parents and everything else on location, which is where Ro's located with Les East, and we tie that into the show. And like I said, we try to hit all bases here, try to promote schools. The show is all about the scores. Our scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com, no one does what we do.
Second to none.
We're updating it every 30 seconds with people that are working on it all night. Color graphics, you know, where the whole thing is terrific. On a given Friday night, we average in the vicinity of 25 to 30,000 hits on our scoreboard. So that gives you some sort of perspective as to what we've built.
just to give you an idea of how crazy the madness this is, 3 years ago, I'm calling in, I don't know, week 3 or 2, I'm at Ouachita Christian in Monroe. They're playing Alexandria High School. Jacobian Guillory was in that game as a freshman starter. I'm calling in that game from Monroe to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, listen, we've got people everywhere. And again, the connections over the years. And of course, it's a beast to keep up with because people change on an annual basis. Somebody leaves a school, doesn't work with the school anymore. I mean, we have everybody contributing, from assistant athletic directors to coaches of other sports to teachers in the classrooms to former players, you name it. Anybody I can latch onto, I do. And once I latch onto them, I don't let them go.
You get the emails.
You bet.
Born and raised in the New Orleans area, graduate of Loyola University in communications. Went to Archbishop Rummel High School, who's doing pretty good the last few years in football and a lot of sports programs. And you're currently the Crescent City Sports CEO owner. Tell them about Crescent City Sports.
Well, it's a labor of love. Speaking of love, we created this website starting in 2008. We envisioned the future. Everything was going to the web and to digital and to video. And we married it into one, focusing on prep sports in particular. But we do everything. We have a huge audience for Saints. The same is true of LSU, along with prep. Those are the three biggest things that we draw an audience for, but we cover everything, from Pelicans to Tulane to University of New Orleans and everything imaginable. But the biggest generators were prep, LSU, and the Saints, obviously. But prep has been my first love, and that's what I really got involved in this with and why we created it. We do live games all the time, and that's been a big staple of what we've had.
And general manager of the Saints Hall of Fame, Don't go anywhere, Ken. We're going to bring you back. We're going to bring Roe Brown in. Then we're going to bring Roe and Ken together. And later in the show, Jacobian Guillory from Alexandria High School and Luke Lunsford. We'll be right back.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkas in Baton Rouge today.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shear she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Bryan in Walker today.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Welcome back, Louisiana Football TV magazine. Want to thank Drew Dillio, former Parkview Baptist football star that went to Michigan, had a great career. In Roe, one of the top skill players to ever come out of Baton Rouge. He was a fast receiver and played at Michigan right before Harbaugh got there. But now he's a State Farm agent in Baton Rouge. Support him. He's one of our sponsors, and good to have him back in Baton Rouge. I want to go ahead and introduce one of the most famous, legendary media, high school, college gurus from the New Orleans area, Roe Brown. Roe Brown, thank you for taking the time to.
Thank you. That's nice of you. But the guru is Kenny Trahan, not me.
The Friday nights, the word I was looking for that you told me, and I was, when we go on radio on Friday, when I call in, you keep saying, Lee, give me some gossip. And I'm like, oh,
and you know,
no.
I don't mean gossip in the truest sense.
Right. Give me something. What's happening this week?
And you usually do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Tip off some player or something that.
Or I'm at a school.
Maybe no one's paying attention to.
Or
Yeah.
Throw out some crazy name, and I'll go. Y'all write it down. And go. Okay, that's a new one. That's a new name.
There you go.
WBOK and WBOJ. You do a little work with them.
WBOK and WGSO, yeah, and I work at the University of New Orleans.
UNO.
In athletic communications, and
what else are you doing
about it.
besides that?
Well, you know, I mean,
enjoying
I
life, Eddie? I mean,
well, yeah. Well, my work has been enjoyable. Okay, I tell people I became a sportscaster because I didn't want to work for a living.
There you go. You love it.
They paid me to do something I do for free. I didn't tell them that because they'd asked me to do it for free. But
what's your favorite time of the year for sports? Do you have a favorite time?
I suppose it's football season. When I was working in television every day, my favorite time was the lull between the start of football and like the end of basketball, like that month, like July and August. Because it was during that time that I could go out and I could do features on things and people who maybe had been ignored
You need to go get something. Yeah,
yeah, you know,
right.
but those I liked doing that. I liked doing that part of things, and so you know, from a professional standpoint, that was my favorite time. But I guess now I'd have to say that it's probably football season.
Do you have a documentary?
Especially high school football season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a documentary that sticks out that you were proud of? Any one or two?
That document, I haven't really done any documentary, but
or
stories.
Stories.
Yeah. Well,
Sports.
There've been a few.
Anything that sticks out?
I did a story. There were some stories that I decided I was going to do that I knew that nobody probably would. And I go by the reaction that it gets from people. I did a story on the 1965 secret basketball game between St. Augustine and Jesuit. And talked to Billy Fitzgerald, the great coach at Newman, who was a terrific athlete at Jesuit, and Harold Sylvester, who went on to be an actor and all. He was the star of the St. Aug team, or one of the stars of that team, and just the impact that it had. And excuse me, those two guys became teammates and friends later on at Tulane, and they just had everything in a proper perspective. It was one of those stories where it did itself. You know, you kind of sit there doing it, but it really puts itself together. So, I mean, that's one that comes to mind.
Did you ever do a story on Apollo Creed being from New Orleans?
No. Carl Weathers, I heard that he was from New
Orleans.
That I don't know. That I don't remember. I've been told that he went to St. Augustine for a while, and I've heard him say that, but yeah.
The famous Apollo Creed, New Orleans native.
Yeah.
What is your favorite college game to date, going back to the start? Is there a college game that sticks out?
My favorite college game?
Is there a game that
That's
sticks
easy.
out to you?
That's easy for me. December 31st, 1973. Alabama Notre Dame Sugar Bowl. 24-23. Played at Tulane Stadium for the national championship. Era Parsegian against Bear Bryant. First time it may have been the first time Notre Dame and Alabama ever played. It was a perfect game to me. It just had everything, and it had lots of terrific players. You had two great Hall of Fame coaches. The situation where it was 1-2, where you knew that this was a national championship game for that year.
Was Joe Theismann the quarterback at Notre Dame?
No, Tom Clements was.
Tom Clements played in the CFL a long
Tom
time.
Clements was the quarterback, and it was just a terrific game.
Who won?
Yeah. Notre Dame, 24-23.
I think Notre Dame had the Bears' number too.
Yeah, he never beat them.
Never beat.
He never defeated Notre Dame. Yeah, but it was just
I was never
a
a
really
Notre Dame fan
game.
because they were always on TV, even against teams like I don't know.
Notre Dame had Dave Casper. Richard Todd was like They played two quarterbacks.
Richard Todd played
one
a
of the
long time.
Rutledges,
New York Jets.
Woodrow Lowe was on the team.
Woodrow Lowe was a great pro too.
He was on the team, exactly.
Linebacker.
Terrific. It was really a great game. My favorite college game.
What's really crazy, you think of Richard Todd with the Jets. They had Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko and all those guys. That was the last time the Jets were really good.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah,
really
Dolphins,
good. Jets
really
games,
good.
right?
Yeah, I would say those were the best times
20
for the
quarterbacks
Jets.
later?
Of course, besides the Joe Namath Super Bowl that one
Well,
year.
that was before,
but
yeah.
when you think about it, that was probably the best time for the Jets.
But kids
since
growing
that
up today
time.
they don't realize the Jets. They were pretty good, and the Gastineau was 28 sacks a year, and
Marty Lyons.
Marty
people
Lyons.
have
Gilbo, who's from Karen Crow, was also one of those starting D tackles. Been on the show. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Ro, we're going to have you join Ken, and I'm going to have some questions. Cue card questions.
I'm glad Kenny's here. He can answer all the questions because I can't.
We're going to be right back. We're going to have Ro Brown and Kenny Trahan's going to join us. Later in the show, we got two big-time recruits. We'll be right back.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary.
And this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Jim Crane in Baton Rouge today.
Welcome back. I want to thank Superior Grill, a longtime sponsor of the show. They have a new location on Highland Road. They're also the originals on Government. They're also on Line Avenue in Shreveport, and in New Orleans, St. Charles Avenue. Bob Kershaw played football, the owner at Northwestern State. He's from Minden, Louisiana. Great guy. And I know Ken and Roe know about Superior on St. Charles. Great, great place to eat Mexican food. And it's like brothers here trying to get y'all back together. Y'all are like fighting and jawing, but it was in play, you know. But you're talking about how the class of Loyola, in like a 3-4 year span, all the great talents that came out in sports.
Other than him and I, yeah.
Yeah.
Would certainly concur with that. Yeah.
Ed Daniels.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were all together in the same classes and everything. Jimmy Smith, Times-Picayune writer for a long time. Peter Finney Jr.
Peter Finney Jr.
Some people may remember in New Orleans television, Steve Ozenovich.
Oh, yeah.
Lynn Ganser was an anchor.
You said the starter of TMZ or something?
Alan Citron, yeah.
Alan Citron,
something to do with.
We had a lot of people behind the scenes, too, that people don't know that worked in other markets and were extremely successful as well.
Right.
It was an incredible era of people. And we had one class in particular that Will Pennegy taught that most of us were in, and to this day he says it's the best class he's ever taught because the students challenged him every day. And we did. We debated everything from you know, whether Babe Ruth was better than Hank Aaron, whatever the case may be. And it was special. It really was. It was a great learning environment, to say the least.
And Ro, what did you say when y'all went to school? You said the professors would say, don't count on getting a job locally.
That's it. You know, don't expect to find a job, and don't even think about finding one in your hometown.
We didn't get the memo.
And most of us got that was in our hometown.
Everybody stayed in Louisiana.
It was luck and it was timing, I think.
Yeah,
had something to do with it. I really do.
It's all luck.
So some quick cue card questions, quick answers. Or Ro Brown, best high school band in Louisiana?
Best high school band, I guess it'd have to be St. Augustine Marching 100.
That Purple Knights, they played the Rose Bowl.
But let me say that there are lots of good high school bands in New Orleans. You know, some of them, some years, some bands that are better than St. Augustine.
Starting with Ro on these. Give me 3 favorite college football players of all time.
Oh.
Of your 45, 50.
Can I amend this and say 3 favorite high school?
3 favorite high school
players. Because I could do
players.
that easier.
3 favorite high school players of all time.
Okay, they're all the same type. Kenny Rapman at Holy Cross in the 60s.
Okay.
Played both ways. A lot of Holy Cross people played both ways. Not very, very big. Went to Northwestern State, Hall of Fame there. Norman Jefferson at Arrett.
John Arrett.
Arrett, then went to LSU, was Mr. Irrelevant. Last player selected in the draft.
Great punt returner.
Played for the Packers. You know, once again, both sides could play offense or defense.
Number 3 would be?
Wayne Reese.
Wayne Reese.
Xavier Prep. Got out of Xavier Prep in 1960. Same kind of player. Never left the field. Wayne played defensive back and he played running back.
And went to college out of state.
He went to Tennessee State and played on some great teams at Tennessee State in the mid-60s with people like Claude Humphrey and just a bunch of
And if our viewing
professional
audience don't know who
football
Wayne Reese is, he coached Marshall Falk at Carver, coached at Washington Marion, Nate Livings, Brandon Winey, both NFL guys at LSU, and now he's currently the head coach of McDonough 35, where he's coached several big-time players.
Yeah. So that's my 3 favorite high school people.
Superdome championships, your thoughts in one sentence?
Superdome championships?
Well, yes or no? Continue in the dome, not the dome, for high schools in Louisiana?
Well, I'm going to be, I'm going to say yes because I want them to. I think they should be played there, no matter how many we have, and we have too many. But I think they should be played there. I think it's something for people to look forward to. It's something for the kids to look forward to. No matter how many times they come back every year, you have kids who come in there now and then from places like Manny,
right,
where it's a big deal.
It's a special
venue. And I don't think you should take that away from them.
Kenny, favorite time of the year for you for sports?
Oh, I'd say every time of the year is a favorite time for me. I love all sports.
There's no
I love all sports. I love baseball. I love basketball.
I thought he was going to say spring training.
Love wrestling.
Because he's a big Cardinals fan.
Well, I love baseball. I mean, look,
Can you watch every 9-inning MLB game? Like, can you go all 9?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have the MLB package,
impressive.
and I'll stay up overnight and watch. But I do the same thing with NBA games.
Have you ever watched an 18-inning MLB game?
I have broadcast several of those.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I did a 6-hour and 20-minute game in Louisville for the New Orleans Zephyrs.
I was going to say.
6 hours and 20 minutes.
Yes, and I did a 7-hour and 58-minute doubleheader for UNO at Little Rock on Easter Sunday.
And he wasn't watching.
Now, how does the food get in the press box after 4 hours? No food, no water?
No, of course not. Not even. So just keep working. Anybody thinks it's glamorous, think again. You better love what you do.
Give me 3 prep football players of all time, your favorites.
Well, that's a hard question, but it's easy to find one. Mike Miley would be the first price point for me as a youngster, as an incredible athlete. Yep. Kid named Kirk Davenport that played at Fort Jay was an incredible football player. I thought he was the best high school player I saw in my time, and it was just brilliant to watch. And I could go so many other places with a third. You're talking about 3. That's really hard. Joe McKnight, Leonard Fournette, Craig Stelz, all guys that I had unbelievable admiration for what they could accomplish with their ridiculous skills.
How big of a legend is Pat Screen from Jesuit New Orleans? I keep hearing the name, how great he was back in the day.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember when he was at Jesuit, and then, of course, went to LSU. He was Coach Rando, the late Henry Rando, and he used to talk about him a lot, and yeah, he was, I think, still a legend at Jesuit High School and in the area.
Not a big guy, too. He was like 5'10", 9 back in the day.
Was later mayor of Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, LSU.
It's kind of like reminds me of my daughter, who's 30 years old now. I told her when he passed away, I said, "Man, Billy Cannon died." And you know what she said? The dentist?
The dentist, well.
Because she knew that he was a dentist.
Yeah. Getting back to questions, Kenny Trahan, best Rummel team ever.
Ooh.
Well, I think you have to go
You're a graduate of Archbishop
their first
Rummel.
state championship team in 2012 was a very, very special team. Damian Williams was a 4-year starter. Ethan Cotter's in the NFL. Stephen Dunbar was a great player. Keith Fulton was an outstanding running back. Their lines on both sides were terrific with players that played at the next level. And the fastest linebackers who were small but could run like crazy that were really good. So I'd have to go with that team. And that was most exciting, obviously, too. They went 15-0. And that was the last real state championship we had in Louisiana.
Ken, keep the Superdome championships or don't keep them?
I'd love to see the games all played in the Dome. I think it's a great venue. But if schools feel like they can do something better, help their schools, get better attendance and make money, I have nothing against them. I think it's all about what's best for that particular school, frankly. Right. And unfortunately, that message has gotten lost somewhere along the lines with the ridiculousness that we have on a statewide basis right now.
Yeah. You out of questions?
Well, I got one for Ken and Roe. How close is Tulane from being a bowl team every year?
Every year?
First row?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say every year. I think that Willie Fritz is doing a really good job, I think. I really do. It looks like, because I think he's focused on getting the players that he can get and the players who would be good for him.
Ken?
He's got a system that works. He's recruiting the light players to it. He's got a good staff. I think the answer to the question is now. I think they can absolutely go to a bowl game pretty much every year given the conference they play in and if they schedule smartly.
One more question. LSU, Roe and Ken. I'll go Roe first. Ed Orgeron. Thoughts on Ed Orgeron?
Doing a great job. I'm like a lot of people, had my doubts when he got the job. but I don't have any doubts anymore. Okay.
First class. All for him. Very happy for him. Not surprised. Ironically, I did some of his games for Comcast when he was at Ole Miss. And to see where he's at now and where he was then, he's learned immensely. Best thing you can say about anybody in life is that you learn, and by learning, you improve. I think we all need to strive for that daily.
Sometimes.
All right, I know you're short on time. This is Louisiana Football Magazine about Louisiana players. I want to say I'm glad Johnny Robinson is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Too.
Amen.
A lot of Louisiana people
We
like
got another
Kevin
segment.
Mawai and
Let's
all that
cover
good
that next
stuff.
segment. We got
Okay.
one more segment.
All right.
Let's talk about Johnny, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because he's well overdue. Over 65 interceptions for a career in the NFL with the Chiefs. We'll be right back. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We have Roe Brown, Kenny Trahan, later in the show, Jacobian Guillory from Alexandria, one of the top D tackles in the country, Luke Lunsford, one of the top quarterbacks. They're both 220 kids. They're going to be on for 2 segments. Starting our next segment, segment 5 and 6, we're going to look forward to that. We got a little more with Ken and Roe. I want to ask also before some good questions here. Let's get back to Johnny Robinson.
Yep.
Before my time, but as a kid growing up in Baton Rouge, my dad being a huge LSU fan, you know, my dad would tell me, here are the greats, you know, and you memorize all the great players, and then you see the old film, and you watch the old Chiefs film, and Lynn Dawson, and you see all the great Buck Buchanan and all these Chief players, and then Johnny Robinson was right up there with all of those guys, and he's finally in the Hall of Fame.
Right. He's the 6th member of that defense, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's
Chiefs
incredible.
defense is, you know, Buck
like
Buchanan, who you
curtain.
mentioned, yeah, Curly Culp, Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, the 2 linebackers, Emmett Thomas, the cornerback, and of course Johnny Robinson, now is the safety. Yeah, he was just a really good player, great player. I thought he was one of my favorite players, and he had a terrific career in the National Football League. He was on the '58 National Championship team at LSU, of course. But I'm really glad that he made it.
And we have
he should have been there a long time ago.
We have one of his teammates here in the audience,
yes,
Purvis.
we do. Who could tell you all about
Honored
Johnny
to have
Robinson.
him here.
Yep, could tell you all about Johnny Robinson, no doubt about it. Heavy Louisiana dose in this class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, of course, because you got Kevin Mawai, of course.
You think they didn't
Ed Reed.
You think they didn't let maybe Fanikin too many LSU guys in one class?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I don't think
but I
so.
think he'll get in eventually.
Oh, yeah, he'll get in.
That would have been
Allen will make
incredible
it.
if he would have went in too.
Speaking of halls of fame and Louisiana football players, this past weekend, a Black College Football Hall of Fame inducted two Louisiana people: Richard Tombstone Jackson, Landry, L.B. Landry High School in New Orleans, 1958 state champions in LIALO, and of course he went to Southern, went on to a terrific career, Denver Broncos, and a guy who's really I think one of the best football players Louisiana ever produced that people don't think about, Frank Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, from Houma, Southdown High School.
Receiver.
Yeah, he was, people don't realize.
Played a little bit with the Steelers for a little bit.
Not only did he play a little bit,
Super Bowl.
He was one of the starting wide receivers on the first Super Bowl team. Swan and Stallworth were returning punts that year.
That's right.
As rookies. And he was, like I said, went to Southdown High School and then went to Grambling. Of course, the young guys, Swan and Stallworth, became the starters, and of course they traded him to Buffalo, and he had a whole other career at Buffalo.
Stallworth played at Alabama State, and Swan was at USC.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Richard Jackson, as a young kid, I remember watching him with Randy Gradishar and Craig Morton, the quarterback for Denver. I was a big Denver fan outside of Pittsburgh and the Saints, but Pittsburgh Steelers.
But people don't realize Frank Lewis was the 8th player selected in the NFL draft in 1971. That high. He was the 8th player selected. As a matter of fact, in that draft, the 71 draft, Grambling had 3 people in the first 32
Okay,
picks.
I've got 2 more great New Orleans questions here.
Uh-oh.
Especially the West Bank and in New Orleans. We, off the air and the break, we talked about name the best player to come out of. First, I'm going to hit you in another school, John Ehret.
Okay.
My favorite player was Leonard Valentine.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, one of my top 3, I told you, was an Ehret person, so it'd have to be Norman Jefferson.
Norman Jefferson.
So.
Ken, who would you say, John Ehret?
Well, the best high school player I saw was Tyrone Vaughns, first off. And then beyond that, the most talented player was a kid named James Peanut Johnson. Who was an unbelievable running back. Who, unfortunately, had he not had the issues he had, he was the guy before Gary James, and James was fantastic at West
And we didn't even say Reggie
Peanut
Wayne
Johnson
yet.
was incredible.
Reggie
Wayne's a tremendous player. But we're talking about high school here. At the high school level, just like I mentioned Kirk Davenport earlier.
Exactly. And not worried about what he did later on if he played in the NFL. Exactly.
Greatest St. Aug player ever wrote.
Ooh.
St. Augustine.
Well, now you're going to get me in real trouble.
We're going through the 60s.
I always say my favorite. Okay? Darryl Sanji.
Wow.
Safety.
Oklahoma.
Right. Was on the 78 state championship team, went to Oklahoma, as you said, and did very well. Was a safety who covered the field. I mean, he could tackle. He was very fast. He found the ball. He just made plays.
Ken?
How do you pick one?
Yeah.
I mean, Roland Seymour was incredible when I saw him. If you're talking about high school, there was a quarterback that won 2 state championships, Darren Dixon. I mean, again, if you're talking about high school, the most accomplished player, I'd go with a quarterback who won 2 state championships in succession. So, look, but there's so many guys. Fournette, to me, was probably the most gifted I saw, but all of those guys on defense. I mean, I could go on and on. We could talk about this forever. Tyrone Hughes was the fastest I ever saw until I saw Dante Jackson. They were, in terms of the fastest guys I've ever seen, those might be the 2 fastest I ever saw in high
My favorite St.
school.
Aug player ever was Leroy Horde.
Great player.
He was a bruiser before Fournette, went on to Michigan. Remember that year LSU took Eddie Fuller. That's when the guys were worried about oversigning a position. Goes to Michigan, plays a long time, but what a great player.
75 team. Louis Oubre.
Great player, great friend.
Byron Honore.
Byron Honore is terrific.
Terrific.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on and on. St. Augustine's had more NFL players than anybody in the state on a continuous basis. And their teams that they've had, because we talked during the break briefly, the best teams they ever had, in my mind, were teams that did not win state championships, 1987 and 2013.
It's amazing.
2013, they signed 13 players, including Fournette, but because of this convoluted, stupid playoff system, they had to play the only team that could possibly beat them, a team they had beaten in the regular season, and because of the stupid rules at the time, they had to play them at their place, which they fixed the next year. Rummel beat them that year, and Rummel won the state championship. The very next year, Rummel got shafted because they were the top seed and undefeated, and they had to go play a Jesuit team in the semifinals that they had beaten
I hate to
on
see
the road.
teams play.
And they fixed it the next year. The higher seed is at home, as it should be.
I hate to see teams play in their district to go to the Dome again.
Well, but the point being, had St. Aug been at home in that game, good chance they win it. And Rummel been at home the next year against Jesuit, good chance they win it. They fixed it. Higher seed should be.
Ro, as always, thank you for taking the time to be a part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Ken, Trahan, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Lee.
For everything that you guys have done for me, and Louisiana Fish Fry is going to be part of this. Leave with this and some more magazines, and don't leave. We got our recruits coming up, but I know you got to get to New Orleans. But if you can hold off for maybe one segment, we got some stuff at the end of the show. We'll be right back.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Windows.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shear she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Wilcox in Gonzales today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Welcome back. Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. Before we introduce our two recruits, we're going to want to show their highlights. Their first recruit is Luke Lunsford, quarterback from Denham Springs, that we're going to show. Great quarterback. He's a 220 class quarterback, almost 6'3", over 200 pounds, got a cannon arm, and check this out right here for Denham Springs. He can sling it now. I mean, that's about a 40-yard pass in the air. And Luke, this is another game at home, that nice turf field that y'all have at Denham Springs. But you love this pass, man. You love the post, huh?
I love the post. That's one of Coach Khan's biggest plays, and I love throwing the deep ball.
You got good feet in the pocket. You set your feet quick. You get the ball out. You throw it over the shoulder. Last year, J.R. Press and these guys, they did a good job of catching it. Your O-line did a good job of protecting you, too.
Yeah, my O-line's really big. I think their average weight was like 280 or something like that, and I have most of them coming back, so I'm looking forward to that.
Now, this is getting in between the 30 here. It's getting good pass here. That's hard to throw in the end zone.
Yep. We do a lot of drills, footwork, being able to throw wherever you are on the field, and Coach Khan has really helped me with being able to throw wherever I'm at.
Now,
on the
your
field.
coach coached Brennan in St. Stanislaus, Mississippi, who was at LSU, and did a good job with him, and you've learned a lot with him, huh?
Yeah. Whenever I first heard that he had coached Miles Brennan, I thought this was from God. You know, I had heard about Miles Brennan, and when he came in and he showed us all his quarterback stuff I'd never even heard of.
Now, this is your run. This is about a 30-yard touchdown run.
Yep.
You're not scared to tuck and go, huh?
No, I was. I don't know where that speed came from in that play, but I was scared half to death, so I was just running fast.
Jacobian Guillory, What's your take on this quarterback? You see him all.
He has a great arm. I like the way he passes the ball, and he doesn't allow himself to get sacked.
Big guy too to try and tackle.
Yeah.
Now we got your highlights up. Now you're tackling everybody, and I'm gonna let Luke see this. I mean, Luke might be trying to recruit you when the show's over, but let's go ahead and check you out. Now, you're also in purple. You're at Alexandria High School. This is right on defense, man. That first step. You're able to, and you're able to move side to side like a guy that's about 230 pounds. As a freshman, I was able to see you against Ouachita Christian, and you caught my eye as someone a little different, someone ahead of the game and fundamentals and effort. But you're out here making tackles on the sideline. Is that something you always did when you were in youth football?
Actually, yeah. It's a good way for me to pursue the ball and show that I can actually run.
This is getting a safety. You got to feel good about getting safety.
Yeah.
So Luke doesn't like
points
those.
on the board.
Not at all.
What about the district? Tell everybody about the teams that you play. I mean, y'all play some tough teams.
Yeah, it's good exposure for all of us. You know, playing the West Monroes and the Rustons, and actually, putting up points against these cats. Even though sometimes, the results aren't what we always want, but it's good exposure for us.
Jacobian, you can bench 370 on any day. That's a lot.
Yes, sir.
Most normal high school players bench about 3 or 295. You squat 700 pounds. You deadlift 625.
Yes, sir.
Luke, this guy's good. He's not in your district, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's not. We have Zachary in our district. We have some big guys, but it's a big guy. I'd be scared. I'd be running.
We've got a little more time left in the segment. Luke, tell everybody about who you grew up liking. I mean, first of all, your grandfather, who's here tonight, played for LSU, played with Billy Cannon, played with all the greats.
Yeah.
Talk about your grandfather and going back. And I mean, I know LSU's got to be in your blood.
Just growing up, I always wanted to be like my grandpa. I actually wanted to be a running back, and until I wasn't fast enough for that. But I just learned so much of the game, and all his stuff. I just wanted to be just like him, and big influence on why I love football today.
They called him Scooter Purvis, Don Scooter Purvis. Played at LSU and coached at LSU for many years with Charlie McClendon. And so your dreams for your senior year coming up, what's your goals?
Goal for the team, state championship. I'd love to bring a state championship to Denham Springs. The community's great and the fans deserve it, and we have a lot of new guys coming in, but I think we're going to be a great team.
You got a lot of potential. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Luke, and also I'm going to talk to Jacobian Guillory about his future and who he likes and his goals for next year. We'll be right back.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkus in Baton Rouge today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Welcome back to Louisiana Football TV magazine. I want to thank again the Writer Clinic for sponsoring our Recruit of the Week. And tonight it's Luke Lunsford and also Jacobian Guillory from Alexandria High School, Luke Lunsford from Denham Springs, quarterback. We got another segment with them, and we're going to ask them some more questions. Again, this is 220 class. They're juniors, so they have another year of high school. And we don't usually bring juniors on, but I'm glad we were able to do that. I wanted to bring our sleeper on, Luke, who I think is a big-time sleeper D1 quarterback for next year. And then obviously Jacobian Guillory's one of the top D tackles in the state out of Alexandria High School. Jacobian, talk about your recruitment. All the big guys have contacted you, you know. Spring's coming up. They're all coming to the schools in March, April, May. Are you ready for all that?
Yes, sir. It's kind of become like, I guess, a normal for me. If I had to have like Coach O came to my school, you know, Coach Elijah Robinson's came to my school, and everyone's, you know, kind of called me out of class just to talk to me and all that, just to come see me.
Who's recruiting you the hardest? What coach?
Coach O. Coach O.
What makes him different to you right now? Is there anything?
It's different because instead of it being my position coach or the coach that's recruiting my area, it's the head coach. And, you know, that kind of means a lot.
He knows D-line.
Yes, sir.
So if recruiting ended tomorrow, where would you sign?
That's the question everybody wants out of me. I don't know.
But if it ended tomorrow, we're just playing it. It's all fun.
I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't really thought about it that much.
I got you. Summer-wise, where do you think you might go for some camps and stuff?
All of the schools that have offered me, you know, my top 5 are LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, University of Texas, and Mississippi State. That's not in any particular order, but, you know, I plan to stop by all those schools that have offered me so far.
Okay. And Luke, tell me about UAB. You got an offer from UAB in Birmingham. Not a bad school, man.
Not at all. I went there over the summer, this past summer, and I really liked it there. The coaches were nice. And they were everything treated me great there.
You're the guy that's going to get some more interest as Springs picks up, and just like Jacoby and these coaches are going to be hitting the schools in April and May and some in March that can travel. What is your goals to work on for you personally going into your senior year? I mean, you got an arm, you got the size, but you know you've played basically one full season.
Just 1 year, yes, sir.
And you've got a lot of reps still to get to get better.
It's just consistency, really, accuracy, being able to read defenses, just stuff that comes with more reps, And I'm looking forward to the senior year.
What was your favorite game this past year?
Probably the Faraday game, scoring 63, or Ponchatoula scoring 62, but that one wasn't as that outcome didn't come out too great.
Ponchatoula game, you had what, 357 passing?
Yep, yes, sir.
Bunch of touchdowns. I was at the Faraday game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched you pick apart Faraday. They're pretty good. Faraday's got some players.
Yeah, they do. They have some athletes.
2 or 3 that'll go SEC next year. They've got some speed. Seemed like that game, y'all just felt like y'all could do anything.
Yeah. We had a good game plan going in. We really knew what they did on defense. And when our offense gets rolling, we had so many playmakers. It was hard to stop us.
Jacobian, what was your favorite game this past year? Did you get an opponent that you like to play?
Actually, what Luke said, Faraday, it was our very first game of the season. It was a 6-7 battle for all 4 quarters. And, I had like 2 sacks that game and a handful of tackles. But, Faraday's a really good team, and I really enjoyed playing them. And the other team will be our last game, Ruston, the 61-62.
That was a rematch.
Right.
Y'all played them twice. Didn't y'all beat them the first time?
Actually, we didn't. But, we were up most of the game, and then the fourth quarter just slipped away from us. but I played a big role in what we did defensively that game.
What's the key on being a D lineman, you think, in high school with the other guys around you? Are you the guy that gets everybody lined up?
Yeah, actually, you know, I'm being a leader on my team, and you know, I actually call all the plays, so I have to realize, you know, what the offense is going to do or wants to do, and yeah, I mean, a lot of D linemen in high school don't really call plays.
Linebackers usually do.
Right. So it's just something for me to do.
Now, you said you can sing. Not many linemen sing, and you sing. Right. Tell everybody about your singing. You sing at the school.
I've been singing since I was in the 8th grade. You know, it's just something I enjoy doing other than football.
And Luke, your hobbies, man. You said you love to tell everybody what your hobbies. Tell
I love fishing with my dad. My dad loves going out fishing, and also probably playing basketball with my friends. I love basketball, and I like to say I'm the best one out of my friends.
Now, basketball, you're a forward or a center?
I can play both ways. It depends who we're playing with.
Play a little two-guard?
Yeah.
Jacobian, you play a little basketball?
Nah, it's not for me.
No?
Nah.
Any track? You throw the shot put?
Yes, sir. I actually do throw shot put. I won state this past year.
What was your highest throw? What was your best throw?
A 55.5.
Man, that's serious. That's a serious throw.
Yes, sir.
When you're hitting 58.9, that's a track scholarship alone.
Right, right.
And in the mid-60s and 70s, that's the Olympics, man.
Right.
What do you think you could throw if you really work on it a little more?
Last year I actually glided to throw the 55, which is like never really been heard of. But this year I hope to throw the 60+.
That's serious stuff. I love track. I ran track in high school, and used to love watching those shot putters throw it. They had a guy named Kenneth Marshall throw it 61 my senior year in '88 from Franklin. His brother was Leonard Marshall that played for the Giants. 61 feet. He could have threw it 65 that day. He slipped when he threw it. Guys, good luck to you. Y'all got great futures. You got a year left of high school.
Yes, sir. You
got to go through this recruiting for a whole year, but I know, Luke, you're going to have a bunch of offers when it's said and done. Yes. Good luck to Denham Springs. And Ash, Alexandria High School, Jacobian, I know you're going to make the right decision when it's over.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
All right, that'll be a wrap on the show tonight. We had a good time. It'll be replayed all week in Baton Rouge and throughout the whole state of Louisiana. We'll see you next week.